Hey guys, what's up? Today I have a mixed tier rotation battle as you guys voted for last week, and this one is against Brendan, a guy I talk to basically every other day or so. Um, and because I know how he is, I know he likes lower tiers, so we're going to go ahead and play this mix with 2 RU, 2 NU, 2 PU, and we're going to have a fantastic time. I'm going to lead with my Dragon Dance Fraxure, my Choice Banded Linoon for extreme speed support whenever I need to pick something off, and my Kecleon just because I figured I'd bring it because it's a cool special wall and I could like get some weird combinations with color change. So that was my idea. Fraxure, of course, is the only shiny Pokemon I own. I made it shiny more out of just a whim, just like why not? I kind of like the blue. Generally, shinies ruin the sprite. And it just makes it look stupid, and also it's just annoying because you have to delay the battle to deal with the shiny sprite or whatever. But anyways, so we both sub on the first turn, which really sucks because sub Kadabra is going to give me a lot of problems. I switch to Linoon, go for the extreme speed because I know I can take a psychic because I'm max HP because I don't need speed because extreme speed is a higher priority than anything else except fake out, and a bunch of other weird moves like that stuff. I do the stupid thing and leave it in. He switches to his Manectric, who actually lives extreme speed and had no chance of dying despite me being adamant, choice banded, stab, extreme speed, which just goes to show you that having 70 base attack is really bad because Linoon is just shit. He actually made a comment. He's like, I thought it was choice banded. I'm like, it is. And he's like, oh. So that was rather disappointing, but so I go back to Fraxure, get up to Dragon Dance. He switches to Dabra, gets up a sub. I go to Omastar to get off a Surf, but he crits me with a Psych, which was important. But whatever. So I go to Simisage, which is my Scarfer. I'm going to go for the Energy Ball to break his sub, and then I'm going to switch over to Fraxure to unleash a Outrage on whatever he has, because nothing he has can even come close to taking it. No matter how hard it tries, unless it was Focus Sash, which I was worried this Butterfree would be, but it's thankfully not. And yeah, so he switches up to Manectric just to take the Outrage because, it's already pretty close to being dead. So why not? He goes into Metacham, which I thought at first was Scarfed, but he's not. I don't know. He's playing it weird. I guess he just didn't want to die and he wanted to, break my sub first and then hit me. But I switched to Simisage just to get off a hit because I don't want to be dealing with confusion. And he switches to Marowak, and I end up killing it with an energy. It worked out absolutely perfectly for me. So he's going to go to Zuelos, and I'm going to switch back to Fraxure. I get the Outrage off and am able to kill his Zuelos without any problem. So right now, as it's looking, it's basically Kadabra versus Fraxure of who can kill everything fastest. So he's already down to 2 Pokemon. And I still have 4, so yeah. But I hit myself in Confusion, which does a lot of damage and ruins my chance at a sub. But because I know now that he's Scarfed, I don't want to be taking a hit. So I switch out to Simisage and get off an Energy Ball. Although what I should have done is switched out to Sigilyph, and then come back in and used Leaf Storm instead of Energy Ball, because that would have killed him. He could have foddered Kadabra, but anyways, that would have been whatever. But he's locked into Ice Punch because he can. I mean, Kecleon can't really take an Ice Punch because it's physically it's not defensive, it's especially defensive, and it's super effective against my 2 other things. So that's rather annoying. But I get up a Cosmic Power. I'm going to switch to Kecleon, and Ice Punch freezes me, and I'm like, fuck. Because basically what I was trying to do is trying to go for knockoff. See, I brought Kecleon, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great, right? It's going to be a cool special wall. But then he has a sub Kadabra, and I'm like, I don't have return on this one. I have knockoff, and I'm like, that sucks because now Kadabra can just set up on me. So I wanted to not really use Kecleon because it really didn't have much use against Kadabra mainly, and I didn't really want to get set up on. So anyways, I switch back to my Sigilyph, and he gets another crit, and I'm like, fuck, why? Because I could have killed him. I was going to go for the stored power. It would have killed him. I was at +1 defenses, so +2 with stored power, so that would have been 60, so 90 base power would have killed Kadabra's sub. Would have been all fine, and I would have been able to basically win at this point. But thankfully, I do thaw. So I am able to get a recover off. I go for the knockoff because I want to get rid of his scarf so that my Fraxure is faster than him. But he goes Kadabra, and it turns out knockoff kills his sub on a defensive Kecleon that's not even dark type. Knockoff kills his sub. That's hilarious. So with that newfound information, I didn't. Again, neither of us thought that was even possible. And for some reason, I kill him, but I still knock off his item. So it's like I don't care anymore because he's dead. But so I'm gonna survive an ice punch just barely. After leftovers I was at 26, so it was like 5 or 10 HP, whatever, 6.25% of Kecleon's HP is, whatever it is. So that's great, but the problem is now it comes down to whether I hit myself in confusion or not. And wouldn't you know it, I hit myself in confusion. I mean, he already got 2 crits, he got the freeze. Why the fuck would I not get hit in confusion? Also, he went for the high jump kick. I asked him why. He's like, oh, because I was bored. I'm like, yeah, if I had done that, I probably would have hit, missed and, landed and crashed and died. But yeah, so that was the battle. Fucking Linoon really fucking couldn't even kill a Manectric. That sucks. Kecleon, I thought he was useless, but turns out knockoff kills Kadabra sub. So if I had known that, if I had actually calced it, but who the fuck would have thought? But if I had calced it, I would have used him a lot more. What I should have done, instead of losing my Linoon, I should have went to Kecleon and dealt with that, because he obviously want to switch up Kadabra because he wants to save it. But yeah, so I don't know. I think my main problem was I didn't really bring anything else actually fast. The fastest thing on my team was Scarfed, so it's like. But, if it wasn't Scarfed, it wouldn't have outspit Kadabra. Anyways, because Kadabra has 105 base speed and is really fucking fast, and I don't understand why people don't use it more in NU. I used to use it all the time, but I changed it to Ocean just because it was more defensive and more in line with what I wanted. But Kadabra is still a big threat. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. I'll leave the options down below. And, yeah, good game, Brendan, even though you're a bitch because you got so much hacks. Yeah, so peace out.